The Bulls are a long shot away, but hey, we're talking about them anyway. This is your bold projections, argue, talk, whatever you want to call it. I'm Lauren Shahadi, alongside our college football producer, J. Darren Darst, and Touchdown Radio's college football analyst, Gino Torretta. Starting with the Rose Bowl, you're thinking Boise State all the way because they're not going to lose, but they're not going to play for the national title game.
Correct. Remember, the Rose Bowl is Pac-10 champ versus Big Ten champ. So I slate Oregon as the Pac-10 champ, my Big Ten champs in the national title game, so they will take an undefeated Boise State, and I think this is probably the only time Gina will agree with me.
I like it right now, but I will say this. I'll qualify it. Oregon might get in the BCS title game with the way they're playing. If they run the table, they beat USC, and the rest of their conference go through it undefeated, it's going to be awful hard to keep Oregon out of the BCS title game.
What about TCU, number 4 right now, going to the Fiesta Bowl, according to you?
That's right. Remember, also, Fiesta Bowl, the Big 12 team is anchored to the Fiesta Bowl. So I project Oklahoma to go to the Fiesta Bowl, and they will take an at-large team. And I also now have TCU going undefeated and playing in the Fiesta Bowl.
Well, I like the fact that Oklahoma wins the Big 12, but Oklahoma's going to the title game, so they're not playing in this game. But we'll take Nebraska against TCU in this game based on what we've seen so far.
Hey, what if Nebraska wins the Big 12?
Well, then we got to, then you got to shuffle. I think the question mark right now is you got Florida, Arkansas, Alabama, Stanford. You got all these teams jockeying for the position, and that's the great thing is there's so much football left to be played. We're just kind of, we're throwing out educated guesses.
Right.
We question whether that's
No, mine's educated.
A hypothesis, if you will. You wonder who's the best team in the Big 12. What about the Big East? Because right now it looks like West Virginia, right?
Yeah, I think West Virginia probably is the best team in the Big East right now. They are 3-0. So I see them going to the Orange Bowl and taking on the ACC champion. I'm going to say Miami for now, but that's subject to change.
Yeah, I mean, we have to throw West Virginia into a BCS bowl game because they'll probably be the Big East champ, but I'm throwing them in the Sugar Bowl. I think the Orange Bowl is going to be Miami, clearly it looks like the best team in the ACC, against either Florida or Arkansas, I think, is going to be one of the runner-up in the SEC.
I'm going to get you off that Florida bandwagon by the end of the year.
Don't worry. I'm a Miami guy. I'll jump as soon as it happens.
He was off a long time ago. He has him in the Sugar Bowl. Who do you have in the Sugar Bowl?
Well, I have Nebraska, like we talked about, being an at-large team, so they will go to the Sugar Bowl as a replacement team. And then since I have Alabama in the title game, we'll get to that, I think they take Auburn. But I also agree with Gino. Arkansas could be that team here, too. So look for the winner of the Arkansas-Auburn game.
Yeah, you know what, though? I like Bama. I don't think Bama is going to be able to run the table and get through it undefeated and get to the championship game. So they're going to go to the Sugar. And then I think maybe Arizona or Stanford with the way what happened this past weekend. But the wrench is we have to put West Virginia somewhere. So we'll try to figure out a place for all these teams right now.
If Alabama doesn't run the table, who do they lose to? Is it Arkansas this coming weekend?
They might lose this weekend. This is going to be the first true test. You got a defense that lost 9 starters from a season ago, and now all of a sudden it's like, okay, are these guys for real? Offensively, it looks like they're for real. I mean, Mark played well last week. He's got Richardson behind him. McElroy doesn't really make any mistakes. So, but the question is how's their defense going to be against a very good offense?
And Mark played well, you said, but like you said before, it is Duke,
so
we'll see how they play against an SEC opponent. Hey, SEC team playing for the title game, according to you, Alabama against?
Ohio State. Again, I'm not changing it. Alabama, Ohio State, SEC champ versus Big Ten champ. Hopefully Alabama doesn't lose this week, so Gina rips me next week, but I'll keep Alabama there.
You know what? I like one half of that. Ohio State, especially with Iowa losing this past weekend, the Big Ten takes even a notch down in strength of schedule. I think Ohio State's going to run the table, be undefeated, but I think, like I said earlier, Oklahoma is going to clearly continue to get better. Landry Jones, a young quarterback, but he's gotten better every week. He's got weapons around him. I think Oklahoma's the opponent.
The best place for you to disagree, you guys, is in the title game, I think, because it just makes things interesting, and we'll see how everything falls into place later in the season. But for now, that's your bold projections. We'll talk to you soon.